In 2023, OpenAI CEO Sam Altman was in India. He dismissed any attempt by India to build a low-cost AI model. He called it hopeless. Altman is back in India in 2025, and just a fortnight after China unveiled a string of low-cost AI models that could put OpenAI out of business. Altman 2.0 now wants India to be one of the leaders of the AI revolution. Now, joining me on the News9 Plus show to discuss the outlines of this AI revolution that Altman 2.0 outlined are Gaurav Tripathi, CTO, Innoplexis Consulting Services, and in the studio is my colleague, News9's international editor, R. Sridharan. Gentlemen, welcome to the News9 Plus show. Sri, I must start by asking you this. Deepseek seems to have set the cat among the pigeons. Sam Altman has done a U-turn now.
Absolutely. It has totally shaken up the AI world. So if you look at the recent AI history, Sandy, there have been, to my mind, at least three seminal moments. One was in 2017 when the paper on Transformers was published.
Yes.
For Attention is All You Need. Incidentally, it was written by, at least the lead author was an Indian, Ashish Vaswani. And then we had the chat GPT come in 2020 and 2021. And now we have Deepseek. So the way, if you look at the transition, the paper was a tipping point. Chat GPT actually showed that a low cost at that point was possible. It was actually possible to develop learning models which could be used by everyone. What Deepseek has done is basically destroy the cost structure on which the training and all the models were resting.
Right.
The moat, so to say, which the companies were building around themselves. So that explains Sam Altman's previous statement, only made last year in India, saying that don't even bother trying to compete with us if you have only 10 million budget. So, but that's exactly the the arrogance which Deepseek has shattered by proving that you can build a very competitive model which performs better than OpenAI's own O1 model. The R1 that Deepseek has done performs much better on many parameters, and it is 90 to 98% cheaper. In terms of the queries that you run. So this is an earth-shattering moment, and hence the Wall Street reaction also. Some of the stocks we saw, Nvidia, which is now the lord of the hardware on which all this high power computing runs.
$500 billion worth of market cap wiped out.
So it is definitely a seminal moment, and it's good for India because it shows that you don't really need deep pockets to be in the AI race. You can come in with something small and still make something big out of it.
A good point there, Sri. You don't need deep pockets really. Gaurav, can the lack of deep pockets, that's not a hurdle anymore? I think Deepseek has shown us that you don't need deep pockets to create AI LLMs like they have. Where does that leave India now?
I had actually said last year as well when Sam Altman made that statement. It wasn't a popular view back then, but I said that we don't need deep pockets for building AI, because not every AI really needs that kind of a large foundation model. And even if we do that, we can always optimize and bring in more efficiency. And that's what Deepseek did. And now that proof is out there, it's very much, I've been encouraging a lot of people around that we should look at foundation models and building. Like we ourselves are building one. And I know of people who are now taking a shot at building the foundation model for very domain-specific foundation models, or specific foundation models for specific, and that is what we need as India. We need to solve our problems, right? And for that, definitely we should go ahead and build. And just to highlight again what Sam said, what he's saying again is India, our second biggest market, and users have tripled, and this, in his view, we are still a large market. He's still not really saying that India can become a leader in terms of building AI. That is where I want people to really focus and understand that where we need to focus is on building AI.
Building AI, of course.
Ending up being a large market and a customer of big tech or OpenAI.
Yes, absolutely, Gaurav. I think it's really important to distinguish the fact that Sam Altman, at the end of the day, is an American businessman. He doesn't want competition from India. Right. India has got one of the world's largest digital physical public infrastructure, and this is the biggest competitor possibly after China. But Sri, why is it that we have been unable to leverage all our Aadhaar and our DPI successes into creating these LLMs? Did we actually think that we could just continue to be like consumers, as Gaurav was saying?
No, so I think the heart of this whole AI initiative effort, Sandeep, is your computing power.
Yes.
Okay. And India has always been GPU constrained in some sense. Even today, the government is talking about upping the GPU capacity and everything. It's just that we never were in that game.
Yes.
To begin with. Right. So we are at least a decade behind in terms of being in the AI race. But the good thing is now with all these breakthroughs happening, I think we have a fair chance now to catch up. And like Gaurav was saying, we don't really need to duplicate what they're saying. We need some strong foundational models which are most appropriate from an Indian perspective. And we should focus on building those.
Yes.
Can we maybe, like the IT minister today said, that in 10 years we'll probably have our own, 4 to 5 years we'll have our own GPUs as well, capacity to build. Let's see, I think that's a good initiative. The point is, if the government wants, it can do things.
Yes.
Especially in this environment where I think there is a greater interest, even for our own people who are there in the US, to like come back and do something significant here.
Yes.
Especially if the environment for talented workers in the US turns hostile. I think there are plenty of people who are already doing cutting edge research, who are willing to relocate, provided we're able to fund them and set them up and put them on the right path and get the bureaucry out of the way. Absolutely. So these people can innovate and do what they need to do.
They said, Sri, in the past that India's IT revolution happened when at night when the government was asleep.
That's right.
and, so this is the thing, Gaurav, do you actually see stuff happening right now? Have we woken up from our deep sleep? Has Deepseek woken us up from our deep slumber?
Yes and no. In certain circles, certain founders definitely are waking up to that possibility and trying to jump on it and what can be done. No, because we are still looking at what everybody else is doing and trying to follow. And unlikely, if you look at what the approach that Deepseek did, see, they have practically gone below the hood, gone under the hood, below it, and 2 layers deeper, and changed things. And that is what we need to look. For example, still, when Shri said that we are constrained by GPUs, that is one part. Unfortunately, the real constraint I see is the lack of understanding of the hardware, of the GPUs itself. We don't have that many people who actually understand how to tweak things at that level. Like how Deepseek did. They were able to tweak the NVIDIA GPUs better than NVIDIA's own team.
Right.
To gain such level of efficiency that others could not simply. And that is what we need to do to say that yes, where we could make a difference.
Yeah, where we could make a difference at it. And Sri, Prime Minister Modi is going to be in Paris next week for the AI summit. You see something major coming out of that?
I'm not sure if there's any kind of AI alliance that India will probably want to be, but talking purely from a very regulatory and policy point of view, I think there is definitely a need for an AI alliance which we have right now. It's not mandatory for anyone to, especially on the ethics bit.
Yes.
But I think Sandeep, one of the important things a learning which we can take from internet also is that internet as we know today wouldn't be possible but for the open system that it had. For example, people like Tim Berners-Lee literally gave away World Wide Web code for free for everyone to use. Windsurf, TCP, IP protocol given away literally. So I don't think we should marry ourselves with one profit company. Right. For example, if Sam Altman comes and says that we're going to collaborate with India and let's do everything on OpenAI. I mean, that's something which Microsoft tried many years ago when they said that, we'll give you everything free, but stay with Microsoft. So I think we have to see where does our interest lie as a country. And we must have our own foundational models. And, not just the GPU, but also what, Deepseek did in terms of looking at the architecture itself and you saying, okay, can I run these queries smarter? Instead of my query going back to, let's say, one big, box, can my query be directed to one specific, a domain expert, who then answers very quickly? So that reduces my speed time, but also the cost of running that query. So that's essentially what the innovation that they brought to their R1 model. Right. So I think we have to develop AI models which are very specific to our country. I think someone talked about it was the IT minister saying that Chandrayaan, what can we learn from it? I think we already have that frugal DNA for engineering. I think it's time we really unlock that power and put it well behind this AI revolution.
Absolutely. The frugal DNA that the IT minister mentioned that fueled projects like the Chandrayaan, that's something that India should be looking at when we are on this journey of building our own AI models, different from that of the United States and, of course, China. Thank you very much, Gaurav, and my colleague Sridharan, for joining us this evening.